Now, this is question 1. Quick check. What is the role of human audits in responsible AI? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. Audits exist to keep automated systems accountable. Human audits verify fairness and accuracy in AI model decisions, ensuring compliance with responsible AI practices by providing human oversight of automated systems. Welcome back! 10 more questions for you today, themed around model selection, AWS security services, and responsible AI. 6 seconds per question on the timer. Pause when you need to. Let's see how the patterns land this round. Count every one you get right. Your score matters at the end. Let us keep moving. Now for question 2. Quick check. What does tokens refer to in generative AI? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. Tokens are the atomic unit every LLM runs on. Tokens are numerical representations of words or data chunks used as input and output for generative AI models. They are the basic units that models process and are used for both billing and technical limitations. Let us keep moving. Question 3, coming up. What is the primary role of vulnerability management in AI systems? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option A. Identify, assess, remediate. That loop is vulnerability management. Vulnerability management involves identifying and mitigating potential security threats in AI systems through systematic assessment, monitoring, and remediation of security weaknesses. Time for another one. Question 4. Separate context from noise. The company needs to analyze sentiment in customer reviews and social media comments. Which type of machine learning model is most suitable for this use case? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. Generative AI sounds relevant. Check what it actually does. Sentiment analysis uses traditional ML classification techniques, which are well suited for analyzing text and determining emotional tone. Time for another one. Question 5. Use elimination aggressively. A video streaming service wants to estimate how users' preferences are distributed across different content categories. Which unsupervised learning approach should the analytics team use? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option A. Estimate how preferences are distributed. That verb unlocks it. Probability density estimation helps understand the distribution of user preferences across different content categories, providing insights into overall viewing trends. Let's slow down on this one. Distribution and clustering sound similar, but they answer different questions. Imagine you run a streaming service with 10 million users. You want to know, are most people into action movies, or is drama more popular? That's a distribution question. You want to see the shape of preferences across your whole user base. Clustering would split users into groups, like action fans and romance fans. But it doesn't tell you what fraction of users falls into each category. Probability density estimation does exactly that. It draws the curve showing how common each preference is. Think of it as counting how many people prefer each sport versus sorting people into teams. The question asks about distribution, not grouping. That's the trap. 3 clean definition anchors, then 2 model choice traps. Clustering and generative AI both lost to the more precise answer. Let us switch gears. Question 6. The obvious answer may be bait. A biotech company needs to categorize DNA sequences into 15 distinct groups based on genetic markers. The company requires complete visibility into how the algorithm makes classification decisions for regulatory compliance. Which algorithm best meets these requirements? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option A. Regulatory compliance plus visibility equals one algorithm every time. Decision trees provide complete transparency in classification decisions through their hierarchical structure, showing exactly how each genetic marker contributes to the final categorization. Linear regression is designed for continuous predictions, not classification tasks. Logistic regression works well for binary classification but becomes complex with 15 categories. Neural networks, while powerful, function as black boxes where decision pathways are difficult to trace and explain. Decision trees offer the interpretability required for regulatory compliance while effectively handling multi-class classification problems. Ready? Question 7. Spot the narrowing word. A financial analyst at Market Trend Forecasters has built a regression model to predict stock prices. They want a metric that indicates the proportion of the variance in the stock prices that is predictable from the independent variables, features, in their model. Which metric should they use? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. Proportion of variance explained. 4 words that name one metric. R squared, also known as the coefficient of determination, is a statistical measure that represents the proportion of the variance for a dependent variable that's explained by an independent variable or variables in a regression model. It ranges from 0 to 1. Keep your focus here. Question 8. Read this one twice. A company depends heavily on machine learning models for recommendation engines and anomaly detection. The company stores confidential data in Amazon S3 buckets and needs a solution that automatically discovers, classifies, and protects this sensitive data. Which of the following is the most suitable for this use case? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. Guard duty feels right until you check what it actually scans. Amazon Macy is the most suitable solution as it uses machine learning to automatically discover and protect sensitive data in S3 buckets. It can identify and classify sensitive information like PII and monitor access patterns for security risks. Amazon Kinesis is for real-time data processing. Amazon Inspector assesses security of EC2 instances. And Amazon Guard Duty detects threats but doesn't classify data. Macy specifically addresses sensitive data discovery and protection needs. Let's break down Macy. It's easy to mix up with Guard Duty or Inspector. Imagine you have 50,000 PDFs dumped into an S3 bucket, contracts, invoices, and maybe a spreadsheet with social security numbers in column C. How do you find that? That's Macy's whole job. It scans your S3 buckets using machine learning and pattern matching. It flags sensitive data, personal info like names and SSNs, credit card numbers, health records, over 100 built-in types. It doesn't protect EC2 servers, that's Inspector. It doesn't hunt hackers, that's Guard Duty. Macy's one job is discovering and classifying sensitive data in S3. When a question mentions S3 plus sensitive data discovery, Macy wins every time. Keep your focus here. Question 9. Wording first, memory second. A marketing analytics company is using generative AI to create custom reports and insights based on client data. To ensure high-quality AI outputs, they want to follow best practices for crafting effective prompts. What are the key constituents of a good prompting technique in this context? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. 4 nearly identical options. One wrong word sinks 3 of them. Effective prompts include clear instructions, task description, context, information to guide the model, input data, specific data for the model to process, and an output indicator, desired output type or format. This looks like a vocab quiz, but the wrong answers all hide the same trick. Imagine you're building a prompt to analyze 12 months of a client's sales data. You need 4 things: what to do, client background, the actual data, and the output format. That maps to instructions, context, input data, and output indicator. Now, the question asks about prompting technique, not model configuration. That's your first clue. Options A and B use hyperparameters. Those are model settings like temperature. You configure them separately. You don't write them into a prompt. Option C says parameters, which sounds close but is still the wrong word for background info. That's the trap. Every wrong answer swaps context for a model settings term. All right, question 10. Separate context from noise. A financial institution is enhancing its cybersecurity measures using AI solutions. The solution must automatically detect suspicious IP addresses by analyzing patterns of unusual behavior in network traffic to prevent potential threats or attacks. Which AI-based solution would best address this requirement? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. Real security teams run anomaly detection for exactly this threat. Anomaly detection systems specifically identify unusual patterns in network traffic, making them ideal for detecting suspicious IP behaviors. NLP analyze text sentiments, predictive systems forecast trends, and biometric systems verify identities. Only anomaly detection addresses network behavior monitoring. 3 takeaways from this session. First, decision trees win regulatory scenarios because every split is visible. Neural networks hide their reasoning. Second, Macy discovers and classifies sensitive data in S3. GuardDuty detects threats. Same hub, different jobs. Third, prompt options listing hyperparameters or parameters are immediate eliminations. The 4 pillars are instructions, context, input, output. Every question in this batch rewarded precision over pattern matching in model choice, metric naming, and AWS service boundaries. That discipline is what the exam tests. Carry it forward. Before you go, do me a favor. Subscribe so you catch the next set, and so these reach more learners studying the same exam. Drop your score and any tricky question in the comments. Want me to build a series on a different certification? Name it below. And tell me how the speed and style land for you.